Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 54th Flosstube episode. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel that's mostly about cross stitch. However, I do show my other hobbies here when I've worked on them. It has been a long time since I've worked on them, but I promise that one day you will see some of them again. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me. I appreciate all of you even more than you know. And I did want to take just a moment to just give a little extra thank you for everybody who leaves a kind comment to me. I really appreciate all of you taking the time to do that. I try to answer them all, but I can't always do that. But I do read every single one of them and I appreciate them so much. So thank you all. You fill my heart. Today is Saturday. It is October the 5th and it is a sunshiny day here in Maryland. Hopefully real fall is starting to come in. That would be really nice. We've had a lot of rain and humidity. Let's see. So September was kind of a rough month for us. September is a very busy time for me at work with the startup of school. And then part of the way through September, I got COVID again. I had it, I think January, like end of December, January of 2021, and this time was really, it was definitely the sickest I've ever been. It was brutal, truly. And so that definitely affected my September plans, which you will see here shortly. And I'm still not fully recovered from that, so if I have to pause and have a little bit of a coughing break, I will do so. But I hope everybody else had a great September. There were some good things that happened too. I got to go for like a one-day stitching retreat in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania that was put on by Hodgepodge, which is a shop up there, and that was great. I got to see some friends I haven't seen in a long time, and just it was nice to spend the day, just a day away. That was great. Oh, and before I forget, speaking of retreats, Amy, who is Mrs. Flossy, is having a retreat in Arizona next September, and I believe that sign-ups start today. So I will be sure to link her website below so that if you're interested in heading out to Arizona for a retreat, sorry about that, because it's such a nice day out, Miss Coraline is on the watch for people, and there are a lot of people out. Look, she's sitting right there so she can watch out so that she can watch out the window. Anyways, like I was saying, Amy's retreat sign-ups open today, I believe, and I will have everything linked below if you are interested in heading out to Arizona. The hotel where the retreat is being held will have shuttles that you can take back and forth to the attic for lots of shopping, and that sounds like an amazing time. So alright, what else is going on? Aaron is good. He is out fishing right now with his best friend who's also named Aaron. We did have to very unexpectedly get him a new car like last week, so that was a little crazy and definitely very expensive, unfortunately. But that is all settled down now. Quentin is good. I'm not sure if he's working today or not. He's been on an inventory team at work, so he's been working some crazy hours, so he might be off today. He's very busy. What else? The animals are all doing pretty good. I just showed you Cora. She's right here, ever vigilant. Mittens is good. Tarzan, Quentin's cat. He's just really something. I just haven't had a young cat for such a long time. I always set up my floss tubes the night before. And so when I got everything set up last night, I had to cover everything in towels because he will lay on top of and try to knead linen. He really enjoys doing that, unfortunately. I had taken, words, Megan. So around this time of year, I normally do like a big deep clean of the house before, the fall comes and we have to close everything up for the winter. So I take everything off of the walls, which is a huge task in its own, and everything gets dusted and everything gets wiped down. Well, I had a bunch of my stitching laid out on the table in the dining room here, and he kept laying on one of my samplers that I had stitched, and kept getting them off and getting them off and getting them off, and then when I went to hang it back up on the wall when I was done, I saw lots of little holes all over her. So tricky cat, you gotta watch him. But other than that, he's lovely, he's wonderful. He's very, very sweet and is always purring and happy to be pet and held, so that's great. A little black cat Dingus, she is not, I don't think, doing too well. You know, cats kind of get when they get older, and they get really skinny, and they're just not the same. That's kind of, I think, where she is in her life right now. So every day that I get to see her is another great day. Alright, that's all I can think about right now to share with you with what's been going on. I think we're going to get right into the stitching, and I do have quite a bit I feel to share with you today. I'm going to start with some fully finished objects. I have 2 of those, and then I'm going to share with you the samplers that I worked on in September, the non-samplers that I worked on in September. I know we're in October now, and I am so excited about all the dark October stitching, but I didn't really bring any of that to share in this video. That will go into the next one. I will touch briefly on my plans though, and then I brought some of my vintage and antique needlework that I've collected to share with you, and then I've got some things that I got in the mail, just a couple things from the stitch day that I went to, and also my stitching group just had our yearly swap, and I got some treasures there too. So lots of good things. I'm excited to get started, and I hope you're excited to see what I have to share today. So, okay. So let's get started with my fully finished objects, FFOs. I was working on this the last time that I made a video, and this is Folk House by Not Forgotten Farm. I started this for my birthday a few years ago. I love Not Forgotten Farm. Lived in this little Maryland bag that I made, and I stitched it mostly using the called for DMC, with the exception of 2 colors that I added in, and I'll show those in one second. I stitched it on a piece of 32 count Sampler Khaki by Extra Design, and here's my finish. So I absolutely love this. The colors match my kitchen perfectly, and that's where this is living right now. So I did make a change to the 2 cats here. I changed them to look like my sweet kitty cats, Bud Kitty and Herbie, who are both unfortunately no longer with us, but were a big part of my life for many, 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 many years. So I like to keep them around because they were my home. So I just absolutely love this. This is a frame. I had 3 frames that my grandfather had made, and this is one of them. And I just love this. So the 2 colors that I have for my kitty cats, anytime I stitch Herbie, I use this Wood Smoke color. He was a bullseye tabby cat. And then when I'm stitching Bud Kitty or Mittens too, because she is the same color as Bud, I use this Krynex Silk Mori in 8075. Just have a little bit of that left. I'm gonna have to get some more. So that was my first thing that I fully finished, and then the next thing was a new start in September. I actually started it on September 1st. We're heading out to a wedding in the beginning of September, and so I wanted something that I could stitch in the car because it was kind of far away, and so I started this kit by Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches. It's called Sampler Stitcher. It's like this. It was a kit. It came with the DMC floss that was called for and the perforated paper. It was a 14 count perforated paper. Lived in this pretty bag that I made. This was the card, or is the card, that had all the floss on it. Look how cute that is. I love that little detail there. And here is my finish. Maybe put it on this side would be better. So the paper came distressed, just like that. And this was a super fun stitch, super easy to do as well. I finished this up at my stitch group last weekend. and I love it. I just put it in this little like metal frame that I had back in my stash. This might not be its permanent frame, but I really need to organize all of my frames, and this was one that that I could find. So that'll probably go up in my stitching room upstairs. Cute. The next thing I have to share is another finish. This is not fully finished, but it was how I kind of started off my sampler September stitching. This project is Hannah Hetherington by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. This chart has seen better days. In fact, I have like a bin that I keep all of my Flosstube stuff in, so as I finish whatever I'm doing or what I'm working on or something comes in the mail, I put it all in one bin so it's easy to bring downstairs. And Tarzan likes to sleep in that bin. He also likes to eat plastic and chew on various things, so as I was pulling stuff out, like there's definitely things that have been like crushed from his butt sitting on them, and also there were like little holes in various things, so I think I need to rethink my my setup there. Anyways, Hannah Hetherington, I did the full sampler here. There are 3 different charts and different color options. I chose to do the Gloriana, which I think is actually this one down here, the Gloriana option. It lived in this super cute quilting with eco bag. Look how pretty that is. I stitched it on a piece of 36 count driftwood, which I believe is XG Design. And like I said, I did use the Glorianas. There is one thread gatherer silken colors in here too. But I did use all the beautiful Glorianas. There was one color, this one, Honey Bronze, and this is all I have left. I was very nervous, and I did not want to buy another skein of the silk because I was at the very last corner. I was on the very last little motif. So I was like digging through my stash trying to find something that could kind of match it, but we made it. We made it. And here is my finish. She's so beautiful. I love her so much. Let's bring her in so you can see that blue color in the middle is gorgeous. She is rich and pretty, and she was so fun to stitch. Really, really, really fun. So we need to see if we can get a frame for her one day. And there is actually another project on the other side of this. This is 1905 Bird by Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And I had changed it. I customized it for my grandmother. I changed the date to 1924, which is the year she was born, and I put her initials NS there. And this was stitched in the Sulky pack, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So both of these projects were great, and I'll be excited to one day get them on the walls. So I went strong with that, and then I was in the middle of, or I guess not in the middle of, I kind of just started working on my next project when I got sick. So the next project that I have pulled out is by Just Stitching Along, and it's Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. She looks like this. I absolutely love this sampler. I have the one that goes with it too, the Lucy Calcutt 1826 as well. I'm stitching it in the DMC. I'm stitching on a piece of 25 count over 1 that I dyed myself, and I was working on this page right here, and I did not quite get that done. It lives in this delicious threads bag. And like I said, I'm using all of the called for DMC, which are bright and beautiful, and these are not colors that I like stitch with very often, so it's kind of fun to have something a little bit different. And oops, and here's where she is. So where am I? I was down here working on this page right here, and I know one of my hang-ups about this project is that I am always so nervous that I'm going to miscount on something and have to frog on it, because frogging on 25 count is not fun. I actually had to do some frogging on some 30 count over one last night, which was also not fun. And that finally happened this time. Like, as you can see, I've got the page like markers, so I can see where each of the pages are, just to like always kind of double check myself. And I was working on the border over here and it didn't line up. And I want to say that, yeah, so like this one here is one stitch over than the rest of them. So the border does change in this page. And that's where it got me. But I finally figured it out and I got it fixed, and I got this, these flowers done and these down here, and then I was working over here and I had to give it up. I couldn't do it anymore. But she's getting there slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Next project that I worked on was Miss Agnes Rowlandson by Carriage House Samplings. This is a project that I typically work on in October, but I decided to pull it out in September instead, and I am doing this top version right here. She lives in this very, very hairy mama bag that I absolutely love. I am stitching her in all of the called for DMC. Just some of these look a little ratty, but as I am pulling out projects, I am taking them, my DMCs, off of bobbins and putting them on floss tags. So I think that, you know, eventually they'll relax and they'll be a little bit nicer. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count millstone by LFA Linens. I can't see. Here is where I got to. So I put in, so the page ended like kind of right here. So I put in this top border here. I finished the words on this page. I started the arbor and I got a little start on the bottom border as well. So not a whole lot, but not shabby. This center section here is, where'd the chart go? Where the two girls are, that is a good amount of stitching right there. So I did not think that even if I had been feeling well, I would have been able to get that whole thing done. This fabric is beautiful. And then the last sampler that I worked on got the least amount of love, unfortunately. This was my back to school start from last year. And I love her, but I just couldn't do it. This is the Mary Pet Sampler by Queenstown Sampler Designs. Excuse me. She looks like that. Hopefully it'll focus. There we go. She's beautiful. She is from the collection of the Oblate Sisters of Providence in Baltimore, Maryland, which is the first African-American Roman Catholic sisterhood. You can order this chart directly from the Oblate Sisters, and when they do, they send you, or at least they sent me, this little card about Mother Mary Lang, and she is the founder of the Oblate Sisters of Providence. And based on the dates, I believe she would have been there at the same time as Mary, so very cool. This project lives in my Black Eyed Susan bag, and I am stitching it in the called for DMCs, which there are quite a few colors there. And it's being stitched on a piece of 32 count Vintage Luna by Lakeside. And here is where she is. So as you can see, not very far. This first page was done. This is stitched in the wrong color, but we're just gonna go with it. It's gonna be fine. So I pulled out this next page going down, and all I really got done was the border, the outside border on that page. This is a herringbone stitch here, which I did not have the capacity to do. I was trying to get down, in my mind I was like, if I can just get to the grass, I can stitch grass, because that's just back and forth and that should be pretty easy. So I was like trying to work on this tree to get down, and I just couldn't, and then I started on the gate and I just couldn't do it. I just wasn't in the right headspace for stitching on samplers, unfortunately. So there's always next year. These aren't going anywhere, so that'll be fine. Alright, so I'm going to go and grab some more water, and I'm going to reset. I'm going to show you what I stitched on over in September that was not samplers. So I'll be right back. Okay. So last time I was making a video, I had just started this project, and that is the Chesapeake Bay Treasures number 3 Island Ponies by Ardith Design. Looks like this. I have stitched her the tundra swans, the blue crab, and the heron. They're all hanging over there. So I stitched this one up, and I think all I have left is the seahorse. And this is finished. It lived in this little nautical bag that I made. I used all of the kit items. The kit came with a hand-dyed Ada, the silk to stitch it in, and finishing materials, which I will use once I get to that. But here's my finish. Isn't that sweet? I always tag anybody that I've talked about, or to their shops, or to their Instagrams, or their Flosstubes, or whatever. But if you haven't checked out Amanda May and her coverage of the Maryland State Fair, it's great. So make sure you go and check that out. She's lovely. We all love Amanda. Alright, the next thing I have to show, this only got maybe one evening of work, but it's something, right? And that is Owl Forest Embroidery. This is Forest Houses Raccoons. Not a great printout, but it is raccoons doing laundry, and I want this for my kitchen where my washer and dryer are. That lives in this little dogs on the go bag that I made. And hang on, things got a little out of order somehow. Anyways, raccoons, laundry, love it. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Belfast from Color and Cotton in Corn Husk. It was the October 2020 Fabric Club, and I am using all of my own colors for this because it is charted in the Owl Forest floss, and I do think there's a DMC in there as well. A DMC conversion, I mean, but I am using my own flosses, and here's where I got to. So I added in, I took the clothesline and I brought that over to the other tree, and I started going down the tree, and I started just a little bit on, what is that? I can't remember if it's shorts or a shirt. Whatever the raccoon is hanging up, I got that added in. Oh, and these little dragonflies. Or at least that one's done. That one's not. So, like I said, not a whole lot, but something is something, right? This next project got a week in my car for a lunchtime stitch, and that is Cats on Parade by Blackbird Designs. I feel like it's not cheating because, like, we make up our own rules, right? But I definitely have been working on projects that I typically work on in October at different times in the year, so I have more opportunities to have starts in October. So this is normally an October project, but it was a September one this time. This project lives in this little cat bag, and I am stitching it on a piece of, excuse me, 32 count Lugana. This was the June Prim from Ship's Manor, probably in 2018, 2019, 2018, I'm not sure, but a long while ago. And I'm stitching it with one strand of 3371 and one strand of sulky 713. And I really like the full coverage that this gives. And here's where I got to. So this time I took the fence all the way over. I think I pulled this border all the way over, and I added in a bunch of these little doodads here. This is a lot of stitching. I don't know. This is like, I don't know why this seems like I will never ever get it done. I mean, I will, but it's gonna look really cool when it's done. But there we go. Little progress on that. The next thing I have is a excuse me, a start and a finish. I wanted to do something to acknowledge Friday the 13th, even though I was not feeling well. I just wanted something easy that was like one color that I could not have to think too hard about. And so I ended up pulling out this Liza Ann pin keep from Stacy Nash, like this. This was in a book called Merry Halloween. But it has been re-released as just a chart now, and I've done the other project, all the other projects in here except for her. She's the last one I have, and I will start her sometime this month. All of these projects have lived in this little Halloween bag that I made, and I'm either using the called for DMC, except for the black, I am using Black Coral by Dinky Dyes. And I don't know what this fabric is. If you have watched me for a long while, remember last October when I was getting things kitted up, I dyed a lot of fabric and I took a lot of fabric scraps out of my collection and put them with various things, so I don't know I have no idea what this is. Pretty sure this is one that I dyed. And here's my finish. I finished this up at the Stitch Day with Hodgepodge. This was fun. It was easy, pretty quick. So, the next project that I have to share is a stitch along that I'm doing with my friend Leah Noel of Rhubarb Patch Studio. And we are doing a like friendship birthday swap this year, and I just love Leah. So I'm very excited to be doing this with her. The project that we chose is Easter Goose by Sub Rosa. And we are stitching the whole thing, and we are actually exchanging the egg part. So she started over here with this, and I started over here with the goose. And I really think it's going to look awesome when they are together. So this project lives in this cute little bag. And I chose all of my own colors for this. The white that I am using is Sulky White, because that is my favorite. And then everything else are these pretty springy colors. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Balmoral by Color and Cotton. And here's where I got to. Hang on. There we go. So I continued to fill in the goose, and I got the outline of his head and his beacon, and then I started on this tree, and I'm going to continue. Sorry, the lighting, you know. As you can see, I did like the various different colored flowers on the wreath, so I'm doing that also in the tree. But this is lovely. This is so fun that it's like one of those projects that is relaxing, but also you know, I get to use my brain just a little bit because I'm like picking where different colors go, and it's just fun. It's just really fun to stitch. Like, I don't want it to be done because it's so much fun. I just love it. The next thing that I brought to share are my ornaments that I'm making this year. I typically make my coworkers ornaments. And this year I am doing a pattern by Florine Studios on Etsy, and it's just called Monogram Ornament. It'll be linked below. They live in this little snow people bag. I am using some colors that I've picked, 3 silks and overdyed brown. I'm stitching them on a piece of 36 count summer khaki, and here's where I got to. So I finished this one here. I don't know if you can tell, but the red I'm using in the wreath is a red Krynic. It's really pretty. But I've almost got all of the wreaths done. And then I can just put the letters in, and these will be done. So, coming along. Alright, and the last project that I have here to share with you is a new start. It's a stitch along that I'm participating in. It is the 31 Days of Poe stitch along by Witch's Garden Crafts, and it is a mystery stitch along. The reason I brought this to share is because I did start it in September. So there is obviously no fully finished page because it's a mystery stitch along. We've been getting parts each day, but this was what was released to us prior to the stitch along starting, all of the frames here. And I am stitching this with all of the called for DMCs. It's living in this little project bag, which is so cute. I love it. And I'm stitching it on a piece of Grace Notes fabric, 18 count. I heard it through the grapevine. When I was at the stitch day, Grace Notes fabric was there vending, and I got to meet them, and they were just really lovely people. And so I'm excited to be using their fabric, and here is where I'm at on this. The fabric is definitely more vibrant than it's coming out here. But you see I've got all of the frames done, and here was day 1, day 2, day 3 and 4, and then we just got this one down here. So this fabric is fun. While I have it out of the Q-snap, I'm going to go ahead and I think cut it down because I'd like to use this for more projects in October. It's super like soft. This is really, really nice to eat of. So highly recommend, and this is fun so far. I've not been doing a great job with keeping up with stitch alongs this year, so I'm hoping that these little mini patterns will be just what I needed. So cute. Alright, like I said, that's everything that I have worked on in September. My dark October stitching is underway. I've had 3 starts, I can't remember. But I will share all of that with you at the end of next month. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to pause you guys again, and I'm going to bring over some of my vintage and antique needlework to share with you. One moment. Okay, I think we're all set up here. I will give a little disclaimer for this section. There will be some crinkling. The pieces that I have that are not framed are stored in acid-free tissue paper until I can figure out how exactly I'm going to display them. And so as I share these with you, I'm going to be crinkling the tissue paper to get them out. So, alright, so let's start with the first one that I purchased, and wow, some of these are a little bit dusty, so let's not look too close. This is a little perforated paper piece, like this. And there we go. I just love it. It's on a piece of blue silk, so I put it in one of these little glass frames here. And I actually reproduced this piece, and then I didn't tell anybody really about it. There's a chart for it if anybody is interested. It's called Oh Remember Me, 1857, Grace View Samplings. I have an Etsy shop that, again, I never told anybody about, really, because this is the only thing that's in it. I do have hopes of reproducing the other pieces that I have here, or several of them, but I just have not been focusing on that, and I'll show you. I did a faithful reproduction, an adaptation, and then a couple other little projects. So here is, this is what I call like the refreshed version. So this is the one where I filled in the missing stitches. And I got some blue silk and I finished it the same way. And then here I charted it just as it is, with the missing stitches. And then I made two little like extra pieces out of it. This little ornament here. And those are both of my grandmother's initials. And lastly, this little ornament here, which I love. This is probably my favorite part. It's just on perforated paper and then on a little blue cotton, and I made this little dangly button border, which was a huge pain. But anyways, so it'll be linked below if anybody's interested. I don't know why I felt silly talking about it. So anyways, now that that's done, so I bought that first perforated paper piece, and then I really loved it, so I wanted to find some more. So I found this little bookmark. And then I found some more bookmarks. I was a little obsessive about them for a moment there. So we've got this one here. This was like a lot that I bought together. This one. This is a little bit of embroidery. This one here. It's a longer one. And then this is not in very good shape, but this was like a little pocket. See here, it was a pocket. She's a little rough, but that's okay. We're all a little rough sometimes. I got those. And let's see what's in here. I think these, yep, here are a couple more of the little bookmarks. This one. This one I love. Love, love, love. These are just so delicate. I don't know, look how tiny that is. Beautiful. It says, I am the light of the world. Alright, this next piece I do think I have showed on here before. This, I believe, I did a little research, and I think this was a stamped cross stitch. Somebody had made it into like a pillow. It's got some crazy border on it, but I love this. And I definitely want to frame this, but it's a little funny. Not sure what to do about the little border up there. It says, Dear little house, dear shabby street, dear books and beds and food to eat, how feeble words are to express the facets of your tenderness. And it's, the initials are CM. So, that's sweet. I love that. This next one is not dated, but it's pretty. I don't know if I really have anything I can put behind it. See, it's pretty see-through, but it's got a pretty little alphabet, some specialty stitches in there. And the verse says, daily on some fine page I'll look, lay meaner spores aside, and let the needle, pen, and book my useful hours divide. Sorry if there's a lot of traffic noise. I believe there is a funeral procession happening right now. When you live next to a cemetery, that does happen. So. Let's see. Hang on for me. This next one was stitched by Elizabeth Douglas Turrell in December of 1839. She looks like this. She's a beauty. I love her. I love her. And I believe Elizabeth wrote a book too about her family's journeys. Did they go to Hawaii? I can't remember. Look at those birds and that dog. See the back? Not too bad. But love her. This next one is just a little red sampler that came from Ukraine. She's also seen some better days, but she's sweet. Here's a piece of vintage needlepoint. Whew. I'm not sure what I want to do with her. She was in a frame, just like stuck to some cardboard. So she needs some love. Maybe she'll go back in a nicer frame. Okay, so this one I've definitely showed before. This was another one of the first pieces that I got, and it's this, well, I'll just show you. It's this little boy carrying the umbrella for the man who is walking. And I mean, the face is amazing. I love. I love. And look at the back. It's fantastic. So I've had this for a while in my collection. And then while perusing eBay one day, I saw this come up. And this is stitched on perforated paper, but it is the same seam. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course I had to have it. And it's got these little flowers. That's pretty cool. The faces on this one, I don't know if I can get it close enough, are, they're just great. I don't know if you can see. Alright, and the last one that I brought to share is one of my absolute favorites. This is, her name is Coniona. Coiona Rosa Casillas. And she looks like this. And she is gorgeous. She is from 1904. She's got a chair, she's got a key, she's got some animals. It's probably a dog and a cat. And she is lovely. So alright, so that's what I brought to share today with those. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of what's in my collection, and I'm going to reset just one more time and I'll talk a little bit about my October plans, and I'll show you what I've purchased. Okay, hang on. Okay, so for my Dark October stitching this year, which I don't think I mentioned earlier, is hosted every year by Emily C. of Eclectic Possessions and Michelle of Cozy Egg. They are the brainchilds behind it, where you stitch something dark and spooky for the month of October. Also, they do it every month on the 13th of the month as well, dark 13 stitching, I believe. Anyways, so this year, like I said earlier, I was sick in September and I was not feeling well, and I'm still dealing with some lasting effects from that, including a lot of fatigue and mind fog, which is probably why I'm making so many mistakes in my stitching. But anyways, I wanted something that would be easy for me to kit up to get ready for October, and so what I decided to do was I pulled out a bunch of different charts. I pulled out what I still had kitted up from last year, and a bunch of different charts that only called for DMC, and I put them in this big box here. This came from Joann's, and what I did was all of the projects that I was interested in possibly starting this year. I will not start all of these. I'm not even going to go through this box with you. And I made a list of all of the DMC for all of them, and anything that more than one chart called for, I made a ring, like a master ring here. These are colors that are found in multiple charts, and then anything that if a chart only called for, if only one chart called for the color, then the DMC is with that. So this is a giant box of projects here that I can easily pull from and have all of the everything I need. So this is what I'm using for my Dark October stitching for this year, and it's been fun so far. So we will get more into that later this month. Alright, so what have I purchased, or have I been gifted, or acquired over the last month or so? First up here I have my Fabric of the Month Club from Color and Cotton. This is Ophelia. This is a 36 count. I'm in the neutral club, obviously. Love, love, love. For the Stitch Day and Hodgepodge, we had a little gift bag when we came in, and inside was a calendar. Here's shop info. There was a little calendar. It was tied closed with a little ornament of orts. I do, I don't do them like by year, but I do have several of these full of orts. They actually just hang up in my craft room upstairs. And then the chart that we were given was by my friend Ethel, Stitches by Ethel, and it's the Holly Basket Pinky. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And it came with the fabric and the flosses that you need to do that with. Ethel also, we gave everybody at our table a little chart and a little thread keep, but I did not bring that down today because I've already stitched it, and I'm going to share that with the rest of my October stitching next time. There was a raffle, and I won one of the drawings, and this was a little cute little scissor case, and this is by Handmade by Debbie. She was one of the vendors there. Fortunately, she makes beautiful project bags, but she only took cash, and I didn't have any cash with me. I will be better prepared next time. Isn't that sweet? There was a freebie table, and I did pick up one thing off of that, and this is Emily's Bliss by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And the chart is very pretty, but I actually picked it up because I saw that the silks were included as well as the finishing kit. So whether I stitch this and then finish it like that, or if I use these supplies for something else, is yet to be determined. But I picked it up and I looked at the back and I was like, yes, that is silk. There was another, well, there was quite a few vendors there. Like I said, Grace Noots was there. There was these girls that make the most beautiful pins. Debbie the bags. I don't want to forget anybody, but there was a lady who was there the last time I went, and her name is Margaret. She doesn't have an Etsy shop, unfortunately, but she has just everything is so cute. She had little strawberries and little tins. I have the tin that I bought from her last time. I use everywhere I go stitching. She had so much fun stuff. So from her, I got this little primitive raven. How sweet. You know, I make these little primitive things too, and she did an amazing job. This is so fun and so cute. I love that. I also got from her this little, I guess you could put it on a zipper or whatever you'd like. How cute is that? And then she was trying out a new product, so if you bought something from her, you got this for free, and I can see there's a little teeth mark in it. It's just like pre-made backing boards, so you could just, she sells them to you like this, or in this case we were given them, and that way you can just pop something right on it and make your finishing a lot easier. So I got that. From Grace Notes, I got the fabric that we saw earlier, and then my friend Suzanne and I split this piece of linen. This is a 36 count Pew to Kiwi. It means kiwi peel. It's much greener in real life. It's like a beautiful green brown color, and it is gorgeous. I cannot wait to find something to put on this. All of the fabric was beautiful. It was very hard to decide what to pick. And then there was one other thing that I got from the freebie table. My friend Ethel, she was like, Megan, there's something over there and I think that you should have it. And it was this cute little box. Oh, okay. I'm not sure where I cut off. Miss Coraline was behind me huffing because she wanted to go potty. So we took care of that and we're back. Anyways, so Ethel said there's something on the freebie table that I think that you would like, and she brought it over to me, and it was this adorable little not a basket, you see what it is, I don't know. And yes, I did need it because I needed something that will go up at my stitching spot upstairs. I've been looking for something to help me get organized up there, and this is like exactly what I needed. I can see I've already got my scissors in here, and I colored pencil, and there was this little bin from Salty Yarns and a little like thread organizer. So this I think I'm going to make the bottom like a thread bed, and I'm going to use this to organize my stitchy spot, which is exactly what I needed. But what makes it even more special is that it was my friend Barb, who I hadn't seen in over a year. This had belonged to her. She was the one that put it on the table, and so I got to see her and hug her. And Barb, I'm thinking about you and your husband, and I hope you guys are doing well. It was so great to see you, truly. Like, it filled my heart all the way up. So yeah, that was really cool. Now I'm going to think about Barb every time I use that. So, what else did I get? I placed an order with Hillside Rookery, my friend Olivia, and she always sends these amazing cards with a note on the back. And from her, I got Stranded Jacks by Plum Street. Boo to You by the Prairie Schooler. Love these. And Rabbit Patch by the City Stitcher. I don't know what it is about these bunnies, but I really like them a lot. And then from Sash Unloading, I got Heartstring Sampleries, The Gobbler. It says The Gobbler Rides Again. How funny is that? I love it. And I also got this P. Buckley Moss chart cinders. This looks just like our kitty cat dingus, so I think I'm going to start this maybe later this year. Sweet. Oh, one other thing I got on Stash Unloading was this little, she called it an Orc container. It looks like this. And it unties and it lies flat, so it'll be perfect to take the stitch days to keep all my goodies in. But that's just really pretty. I love that a lot. And the last thing that I have to share was, like I said, my my stitch group did their yearly swap, and I am like blown away by the things that people brought. I picked up some really awesome things, and like, look at this pile. They're so generous. I love those ladies so much. But I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to show a couple things. Somebody put out some fabric that I can use for bags. My friend Suzanne handed me these. Love them. And Paula had this. And so I'm going to put that in my Halloween box. But some other treasures. There was this Good Housewife, Ruth sampler, this winter sampler by Birds of a Feather. Ethel went and shopped for me. She knows me. She gets it. This Blackbird, a bunch of Kathy Barrett samplers, like amazing. I think I might have one of these or two of these already, so if I do, those will be future giveaways. This Millhouse with all of the floss, some cool samplers. This Brenda Key sampler, which is beautiful. A bunch of Lottie-Da's, and some Liz Matthews too. So that was super fun to shop everybody else's stuff. I hope that somebody found some things of mine that they like too. I talk about it all the time, how thankful I am for those lovely women in my life. Alright, so I think that's everything that I have to share with you. I have no idea how long this video is going to be because I took 1 billion breaks. But hopefully, speaking of breaks, Coraline was at the window. Anyway, so I hope everybody's been well. I hope everybody is enjoying October. I'm going to be cleaning up all of this, which is a feat in itself for sure, and then pulling out all of the Halloween decorations and getting that all set up. I'm hoping for a relatively quiet month. And yeah, that's it. Alright guys, love you all. Bye.